Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel, and I want to talk a little bit about Windows updates. Nope, there's not. I'm not announcing any updates on this video, but I want to talk about a problem that is more and more visible within the Windows 10 operating system and Windows in general, and it's the fact that more and more problems seem to be coming out of Windows updates. I mean, there was always problems in the past, but this is getting ridiculous here. And I want to actually talk about the aspects of a lot of you have actually talked about it, and it is true that Microsoft in the past 10 years has really lowered the number of engineers and testers internally at Microsoft. There were a lot more people testing Windows back 10 years ago than there is today. It didn't prevent Windows Update problems because it still happened. But if you look at Windows 7, and that's interesting because Windows 7, most of the updates were, there were some problems that there has been some major issues with some Windows updates, but for the most part, the updates were rather quiet. We didn't hear that many problems. And Windows 10 had this period of quietness. They issued May 2019 update which was a good rollout. It was a good version. And a few weeks back I posted a video of how Windows 10 May 2019 update is becoming a joke now because of flawed Windows updates. And a lot of you say, well, the lack of internal testing is the problem. And I will give you my take on this because I don't agree that lack of internal testing is the problem. I think it's the lack of knowing how to use the information they get and to take time to fix the problems. One of the things that happens is that Windows updates aren't tested enough, I think. A lot of them don't spend time or not enough time in the insider rings. I stress out here that there are different test rings for Windows Insiders, and one of them is the release preview that I think should never be used unless you're about to release a version of Windows. Should not be used to test Windows itself, but rather the different cumulative updates that are pushed to Windows. And that would help probably find a little more problems here. There's a flaw in the way that they're testing it. Of course, a lot of you are always mentioning, well, the average user is the guinea pigs, and we are the ones testing this before the enterprise gets it so that they are okay. Of course, Windows is an enterprise product for the most part. When you look at statistics of Windows usage, enterprise are the big chunk. Users at home are not that significant. There's a lot of users, yes, but most of what is being used with Windows 10 is enterprise-based computers and devices. So I don't agree that necessarily users are guinea pigs, but I agree with one thing. There's a big flaw in the way that they're testing their updates, and lately it's been showing even more. Also, to add to, I would say, to kind of an insult a little bit on users, is the fact that it's obvious when you look at the people complaining that, for example, that start menu bug exists. And it exists in enough PCs that it actually is one of the #1 reported issues right now, even though, yes, it's true that it's a very small number of users that have the problem. And Microsoft just saying, oh, well, we don't see that there's a problem there, is a little insulting. I think they should investigate more when people report things. I mean, there's a difference between 3 people reporting a problem and 300,000 people reporting a problem. Obviously, that means there's a problem. But in the fact that we're almost a billion users of Windows 10, of course, it's a very small number of users that have the problem. But if you're one of those, you're really mad and you really hate the operating system. So, this is kind of my rant today at what Microsoft really needs to do something about the Windows Update process if they want to make sure, especially if we go on, as we are at a turning point where a lot of people are or decide that, well, my PC's it's too old. I don't think I'm going to buy a computer anymore. They might go to an Android tablet, an iPad. I'll have a talk about Linux today because I see there's so many posts of people saying, yeah, well, we moved to Linux. And we're going to talk about that because there's also another take on it where Linux users actually have no idea that, honestly, people that leave Windows are not moving to Linux. They don't want to do that, and I'll explain why in another video today. But I will also talk about Linux just a little bit. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.